Sometimes toy hunting isn't about finding new things to buy. Sometimes it's about seeing an amazing collection, about bearing witness to rare or uncommon toys, and sharing stories with fellow collectors. This is another one of those videos because today I'm visiting another private collection belonging to lifelong toy collector and all-around awesome dude named Jerry. Now, Jerry invited me into his home for the weekend because I'm actually here to specifically photograph a section of his collection for a very special project that I'm currently working on. Yes, that, my friends, is a carded Metal Mutants Michelangelo, the very figure that I have been trying to track down on my hunts. This is part of Jerry's personal collection, and it's pretty amazing seeing this mint on card. But this right here is just scratching the surface, my friends. You see, Jerry is a bit older than me, and like I said, lifelong toy fan and collector. Meaning everything that you're going to see in this video, he's been buying since it was all originally in stores. And he has a pretty sizable Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection that he was buying from retail before it was rare, before it was uncommon, before it was vintage. So he's got some pretty amazing pieces, and he was kind enough to allow me to shoot some video because, man, I just wanted to share my excitement for all of this.
Someone's in the sewer and they don't belong here. Awesome futuristic Cyber Samurai warriors. Oh no, it's Cyber Samurai Shredder and Cyber Samurai Bebop. What we need now are Cyber Samurai Turtles. Look out, fists are flying. Oh no, they hit Cyber Samurai Rap. It's our turn through a few punches. Direct hit. What an awesome breakthrough. Hey, after meeting the Cyber Samurai Turtles, these guys are just futuristic scrap metal.
So, without further ado, here we go. A peek at Jerry's amazing collection, which a lot of toy fans jokingly refer to as the Fortress of Jerritude. Some really amazing things. I hope you guys are ready to see some really cool TMNT toys. And we're going to start with this batch right here. Holy cow, this is an amazing group of carded figures hanging up here. We've got Warrior Chrome Dome, Warrior Robotic Rocksteady, Warrior Metalhead Mikey, and two figures that I absolutely love being Warrior Winged Donatello and Leonardo. God, seeing these on card is amazing. I've got some of these at home in my personal collection, but these Warrior Winged figures are very difficult to find these days, and I absolutely love them. Now, these are figures that came out later in the release of the line, which is why they're a bit more obscure today. A lot of people missed out on these because one thing to remember about vintage TMNT is that it lasted so long that all the people that started with it in the beginning kind of outgrew it by the end, which is why so many of us missed a lot of these really cool figures from towards the end of the line. The Warrior Rocksteady here is really cool. He's kind of a redo of Robotic Rocksteady, but this time he's like a pink vac metallized plastic. And this figure is well known for that pink wearing right off and crumbling in the packaging. This is a pretty nice sample here, but you can even still see some of it is crumbling. That's unfortunately just the way this figure has turned out over the years. Here is a sealed in box April's News Van. This is another piece that a lot of people consider to be one of the more expensive pieces these days. And again, another one that came out at the back half of the line. It is just a repaint essentially of the Turtle Van, but with some new embellishments. It's a very cool piece. Came with an exclusive April O'Neil. That has a really nice box there too. And you guys ready for this? When you look in one of the glass cases, you see what are considered to be some of the most sought after figures in the vintage TMNT toy line. I'm talking about Shote, Shogun Triceraton, Hotspot, Scratch, and all four of the Trenchcoat Turtles. And these are all mint on card, beautiful card backs. Yeah, seriously, this is all stuff Jerry was buying off the shelf when they originally came out. How amazing is that? In fact, if you look in the case, you'll also see the polybagged mail-away Chef Boyardee Super Shredder, which if you don't know was a mail-away from Chef Boyardee pasta, and it's an all-black version of the Super Shredder. Another pretty rare piece. Holy cow, just seeing those all together is kind of mind-blowing. Now this right here is really cool. You may recall the 5th anniversary Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figure, and if you're not familiar, essentially when they hit the 5-year mark, what they did is they released this very cool golden vac metallized Leonardo on a stand. He kind of looks like a trophy. They're not uncommon at all, but this one right here is pretty unique. You see, these were all individually numbered. I don't know how many were produced, but this is a very low number. You can see very, very small print on there. It is number 00005. Yeah, this is number 5. And on top of that, the packaging is slightly different. The insert behind the figure is blue on this, where typically that insert is yellow. So I don't know at what point they switched from blue to yellow, but this is certainly a rare version of this particular figure. I've never seen a blue backer like that before. I've certainly never seen a number that low. Wow, unbelievable. So how about we go back to the very beginning of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because the very first licensed product for the property were these little metal miniatures from Dark Horse. These were the very first licensed TMNT items, and they predate the animated series. So these are based solely on those original Mirage comic books. And Jerry has got them carded and loose. Wow, that's a real piece of TMNT history right there. And going from some of the earliest licensed stuff to some of the awesome unlicensed stuff, these are really cool. The Karate Turtle Warriors are actually some pretty well-known and kind of sought-after bootlegs. These are giant TMNT figures, but they are smaller than the official Playmates Giants. These stand more around the 12-inch mark, but you can see they've got some really cool boxes with some incredible artwork on there. And there are some noticeable differences. For example, Michelangelo's nunchucks have a real metal chain. And the biggest standout from the set is that they released a giant Master Splinter. This is something that Playmates toys themselves didn't even do, making this probably the rarest figure in this particular set because everybody wants to add a giant Splinter to their Giants collection. He's also got an entire collection of the Takara TMNT figures. I love the Takara releases. I've talked about that here on the channel before. The boxes on these are amazing. He's even got some of the minis that were exclusive to the Takara releases. Very, very cool stuff here. So Jerry's TMNT collection is incredible. I mean, it's literally the reason I was there for the entire weekend is so that I could photograph what he has. And I could sit here all day and talk about all of the amazing Turtles figures that he has, but he has got so much else packed into this basement that I really feel like it would be a disservice not to show some of the other unique items off, or at least the things that I found particularly interesting. Now, looking at his collection, the way he's got it displayed is really cool because everything is just sort of mixed in together. Sure, he's got some things grouped together like some of the turtle stuff that I showed you, but a lot of his shelves are a hodgepodge of different things all mixed up. And when I asked Jerry why that was, he says that he likes to treat his toy collection the way he would treat a table at a convention or a flea market. He mixes the product up so that you are forced to look everywhere in order to stay interested and see different things. I thought that was a really interesting take on why he would display it that way, but it's really cool. This is part of why I think it's so fun to visit different collections. I love seeing the different ways that people display their items, the reasons why they set things up the way that they do. And he was right. I was totally interested in looking everywhere just to see what I could find. Take, for instance, these carded Silverhawks figures. Man, I love the Kenner Silverhawks. And not only does he have a lot of the figures from the early waves, but he's also got some of those harder to find figures from towards the end of the line. Carded. Incredible. And I gotta love the fact that he's got a carded collection of Kenner Batman figures. I love those Bat variants, as you guys probably know, and I've just got a real nostalgic soft spot for seeing these all carded. But there's some real gems in here too. For example, Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th Spitballs. Wow, memory unlocked. Do you guys remember these? I remember seeing these hanging on the shelves in the toy aisles at stores, and as a kid, I even thought it was really weird that there were toys based on these R-rated movies that I definitely wasn't allowed to watch at the time. What a cool oddity from that era. And speaking of cool, maybe not necessarily kid-friendly items, this right here is really unique. This is the steel mold that was used to produce the LJN Gremlin figure's head. The actual steel mold.
Good. When you're done, pick it up. First of all, it's heavy. You know, it's more than you're going to think.
Oh, yeah.
And now flip it over, and you'll see the inside is all...
Huh. Look at that. Wow, that is awesome.
And that's... They would put the latex inside, and there's where they would blow air in to pull it out through the hole. And if you ever saw, this figure had glass eyes.
Yeah.
It's all cut out for it.
Oh, that is incredibly cool.
I oven cleanered it like a dozen times to get it to look like that.
That's amazing. Wow, that is so... You can hear it when I set it down. Yep. It is so heavy. That's incredible.
That's amazing. What an incredibly cool thing to see. I love seeing weird, unique pieces like this. I really love these giant WWF Superstars figures. I'm totally in love with this Rowdy Roddy Piper. Man, in such a beautiful package too. He's of course also got the Hulk Hogan that was part of that same series, and even has some of the large-scale WWF Hasbro talking figures in Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. The packages are so incredible on these, and I'm not sure I've seen any of these in this condition before. Oh man, now this is awesome. As somebody who is a Disney Parks fan, I really geeked out when I found this. This is an action figure based on the alien from Alien Encounter, a now defunct ride from Tomorrowland in the Magic Kingdom. It's a ride that I never personally got to experience. I wish that I had, but I've watched tons of videos about it, of course, at this point, and if I had gotten to ride it, I definitely would have bought this action figure. This is awesome. This Filmation Ghostbusters collection is awesome too. I love the way he's got it displayed in this little glass case. These are certainly not common figures, especially that vehicle there, and they look so good all together. I also really love all these Disney figures that he has kind of scattered about. Of course, my wife is a big Disney fan along with me, so I love seeing stuff like this. I'm really into these Darkwing Duck figures and these Tailspin figures. Really cool. So while browsing around, I found this loose Lion-O figure from LJN's Thundercats line, and immediately I noticed there was something different about it. Because the original Lion-O figure that most of us had from Series 1 had light-up eyes and had the little lever on his back that triggered his arm-swinging action feature. This figure has neither of those. He's got painted eyes, no lever on his back. Then Jerry took me over to another section of his collection to show me this boxed Thundercats Thunderwing and explained where it came from.
The way it came was the figure on the card with the thing in one set.
Oh.
But so the only way you could get that figure was with the carded set.
That's awesome. So the Thunderwing could come either in this box or on a card with this figure.
Right.
That's
the
amazing.
only way you could get that figure.
Oh, that's amazing.
And that's the only piece that I got from that collection.
See, I love that. And Thundercats is cool, and I've got Thundercats figures, but I was never a massive collector of that. So there's plenty that I don't know about, and I always love learning new things. There's always new stuff to learn about. It keeps it fun. It keeps it exciting.
They're here, what you've been waiting for. The all-new Thundercats. Jaga, Bengali, Linkso, Umaira, Captain Shiner, Safari Joe, Captain Cracker, and Mongor. Capture the thunder of the all-new Thundercats. Each sold separately.
That's exactly what I love about seeing different people's collections. I love seeing different toys that I've never seen before, learning new things. And I was just totally blown away by Jerry's collection while I was there. And I'm so thankful that he allowed me to go around and do some shooting of it just to kind of capture it and document it and share it with the world. Now, I always like to ask collectors what they consider their favorite or their most important piece in their collection. And I know that's not always easy to answer. I struggle with that too. But Jerry was very quick to answer it. He brought me over to his display of Mego Superheroes figures and told me that the reason that these are his favorite pieces is because most of these are still from his childhood. And that's easy. That's what it's all about, right? It always comes back to that nostalgia. Always comes back to things that are important to you or had an impact on you at a certain moment in your life. And it makes total sense why these are his favorite pieces in his collection. I love it. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I know that there's so much here that you're probably seeing and pointing out or wishing that I could have focused on, but it was kind of overload. It was hard to know exactly what to show off here, but I do still hope you guys enjoyed seeing what I was able to show in today's video. And before we get out of here, I actually do have a haul to show off because Jerry offered me this. He said, do you need these Metal Mutants Michelangelo feet armor pieces? Because I have extra ones and I couldn't believe it. Holy cow. So now I can add these to that bare Metal Mutants Mikey that I recently picked up. Guys, I might be able to do this. I might be able to find all the armor for this guy and complete him. This is amazing. Jerry was a wonderful host, very, very nice guy, and I want to give him a very special thanks for allowing me into his home to not only check out his toy collection, but also document some of his toys for the project that I'm working on. Also, I got to bring up that photo that you guys see in the thumbnail that I'm sure some of you are like freaking out about. Don't worry, I also was freaking out about holding all of those kind of rare figures in my hand like that, but that's totally a Jerry thing. That was his idea. He makes people do that. I wish I had the video rolling while he was stacking those on me, because he stacked those on me. I was terrified. I was terrified for that picture. But again, thank you guys so very much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you guys are in a position to support the channel, head on over to my Patreon. Check it out. You can get your name added to the scroll here. You can get early access to toy hunts like this one. But if you can't support that way, totally fine. As long as you guys are watching and sharing and liking and commenting, I really, really appreciate all of you. Thank you guys so very much for watching. And until next time, my friends.